logical impossibilities would not arise in heaven.
But then, so I feel it's like one last point on that problem of evil, and I feel then I probably need to call it for a day. But again, but on that, so animals versus human, right? There's like a clear distinction between the two. Humans have souls, go to heaven, or or to hell, but afterlife. Animals don't. But that is at odds with the fact that there's a continuum of evolution, and I'm not talking about necessarily the theory of evolution, but the fact of evolution, where it was animal, and at some point human, and there seems to be there's like a dichotomy. There's been something that's been said at some point. You're human, you get the soul, you get to go to heaven, and you have free will, and then everything that comes before that doesn't. And that to me is
I understand your point. What you're saying is, look, all form of creation should have some reward or punishment. A tree, for example, you're saying that tree provided the shade. It provided so much fruits and vegetables. It should be rewarded. It should have a heavenly life, afterlife, and so on. This is the expectation you are coming up. I'm saying God can decide to continue the existence of something as long as He wants, according to His wisdom. He can have human beings forever and forever if He wishes. He can have certain creation up to that point if He wishes, for example. This is the prerogative of God, how He wants to continue the perpetual existence of certain form of creation. So the recompense, the reward or the punishment you are saying, you are expecting everything that is here on this world, even a bacteria, even the viruses. Let's talk about them. There are good bacteria in our gut that helps digestion. Are you expecting a reward for them that they should continue in the hereafter? You can bring in all of these things and you will say, I expect them to have a reward in heaven as well. So what we are saying is, God in His wisdom, He has certain creation in mind to be rewarded in the hereafter. In His world of creations, for example, He can create a world in which there are other creation with other rewards, other punishment. God is constantly creating. This world of ours is one of these many worlds. So we have a companion who says there's like a parallel worlds. There are parallel prophets, parallel you over there. God can create that. But what we're dealing with is our existence, our soul. You and I know, I'm not Camille and you're not Mansur. We have our individual existence and awareness of the existence. What is there for us is a continuity of life with given a new body of our soul, because what I'm my soul with my body that can be changed and rechanged if necessary. In the hereafter will be a different body, and a mechanism to enjoy what I've done here. And that enjoyment would be spiritual, would be physical, and so on. Now, if, for example, I'm saying, look, I'm not giving you a blanket statement about animals. I'm saying if there is nothing contradictory, and people wish, and even God has some, I don't know all the text. If someone can correct me, if there are texts in which there are animals can live, no problem. I don't see any problems. But I'm saying, in general, even if there wasn't a afterlife for animals, this is the prerogative of God in which any suffering they had, they will be compensated, and they will not feel in any way unjustly treated.
So I agree. I mean, you can explain away to some extent everything on that, but it is a very contrived. Very contrived.
I will come back with beneficial bacteria. According to your expectation, there should be beneficial bacteria having reward. So we want now bacteria in heaven.
I'm not actually. There is an alternate explanation. The simpler explanation would be there is a God that has set up a bunch of rules, laws, and a created universe, created things, and let them, all of them, evolve and develop according to His plan. But it's not materially then intervening on, you'll get a reward, you won't get a reward. It's just like it's all part of the same plan.
The question is about continuity of existence. So we are told we will have continued existence either in heaven or in hell. Okay? The jinns is another creation, likewise. In terms of other creation, for example, now if somebody questioning about viruses and bacteria, certain bacteria is good for you, right? In their gut, they really help digest. You do know that, right? In fact, people take probiotic, full of bacteria, isn't it?
Yeah.
We actually consume bacteria for the goodness of our gut. So if people say now, okay, what's the reward for them in the hereafter? Should they be in heaven as well? Well, if God wants to have their bacterial heaven, of course He can have a bacterial heaven for them, and so on. But God is interested in the humans in terms of what we are, rather than you interested in everything else. there are many things which are not necessary for us to delve into. If you do have questions, that's why the Quran at one point said, look, if you have questions like this while the Quran is being revealed, then it will be answered. Like if you have, but
yeah, actually, a question on that, because obviously in the Christian understanding, the reason why God cares about humans is because humans were created in the image of God. But that's not the case in Islam, right? So in Islam, why does God care about humans specifically, as opposed to everything else in His creation?
God considers human beings one of the best of creations. In the eyes of God, one of the best, ashraful makhluqat, one of the best of creations. Allah created us. In fact, if you think about it, we are the top of the food chain in that manner. In fact, human beings are going to space, not an elephant or a bacteria, human beings. So God created us in this way, and He has the whole human project in a way that the consequences of them is going to be either eternal heaven or eternal hell, like that. But in doing so, human beings are placed in an environment in which there are other forms of creation. And we have to encounter and engage with these creations in the best possible way. That is why Islam says look after your environment and look after the things in your environment. Don't go and kill unnecessarily, unless, for example, for food and so on. So we can't have a farm of rabbits only for fun by hunting with our foxes. Totally forbidden, because that's suffering for fun. But God has granted us permission to consume some animals for food. But He doesn't grant us to eat all forms of food, because He says there are some which are good for you and some which are not. Halal and tayyiba, we talked about pure and permissible. So we only consume what God has given permission for, which are by their nature, they're good and they're permissible.
If you're interested, I can show you where they believe
Camille? What's any next question?
I mean, I think for today's probably enough.
Okay,
I've got
that's
more
fine.
that I need to go and read them. I think
Sure.
the big thing that I need to, I feel like that's going to be
Inimitability. Inimitability. Certainly. Do watch the lecture. And in the meantime, take care and
yeah, thank you again.
keep your
again,
questions.
I just want to say again, thank you for your time and thank you for being generous
It's
with your
all
time.
right.
I really appreciate
No,
it.
you've been wonderful. Even with the hecklers, you stood your ground and you told the heckler to go away. That was really, really good. And I hope the heckler at least appreciates what it means.
But, the whole hecklers, whatever. Ultimately, something that. Wait, hang on. I just want to say something about engaging with, the whole Christians and Muslims. A lot of what you see on the internet is about clashes between the two. I'm actually much more interested in engaging honestly with, and I find that all the Muslims that I've interacted personally have been lovely people. Really interesting in what I have to say. I'm interested in what you have to say as well. So thank you, and I think that shows in the videos that you've got. So
You take care. Until next time.
Yeah, next time.
See you later.